Speaker, I would have said, Jazakumullah khairan, that I'm getting a lot from you. This is the second time I'm listening to your speech. But it really put me in a more conscious aspect, because I belong to a school of thought. I want to speak on the aspect of your views on university Muslims and what are the reality Muslim. I belong to a school of thought when I was in Yaba College of Technology. Most of us who graduated from Yaba College of Technology will be familiar with the crisis of MSS and the whatever. My Sheikh Abdulakim made us to understand that our own present world of Islam does not need to be a sit and look aspect. You need to go there and correct it with your hands. So, and we left with that legacy, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. But also, we are also met with some challenges of the hadith of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that said, that there are four things. إِذَا كُنَّا فِيكَ فَمَا عَلَيْكَ مَا فَتَكَ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا. That there are four things that you need to do. That once you have these four qualities, you will have the solutions of the world. First thing, ibn humanity. I want to buttress your point on character. Ibn humanity. Always make sure you do good. Even if it doesn't please you, make sure you do good. Second is, ibn hadith. When you speak the truth. In all ramifications, you speak the truth. The third aspect is akhlaq and character, which you just mentioned. And the third aspect, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that what you eat, what you drink, make sure it is halal. Because the kuffar will want to challenge you from your aspect of what you put in your mouth. So this aspect, these four things, when we now look at it, if we don't have control over this thing, what we eat and what we drink, how do we want to have conscience? If we don't, in our own little way, dominate or control what goes on in our activities, how do we do good? The majority of those who participate in our activities are hindering us in a bad way. Our influence, they are influencing all the social media. Look, for example, the so-called football. They have so much for the past 50 years or 14 years engulfed us with football. Now, even inside the masjid, you will see the Imam before saying Allahu Akbar, Alpha, Chelsea, now they have not even brought in Nigeria and Naira betting. Naira betting is not even coming in now. So what are we saying? We must correct these things. But with that, are we going to sit down with a more calm and easy society and easy thought? How do we challenge this thing? Assalamu alaikum.
And reward us here and hereafter. Amen. The first request is for me to share the paper. I'm not going to make promises. As you can see, I've handwritten it rather than typed it. To be able to share it, you won't be able to read my writing. And all the surahs, I didn't write the surahs there. I just write the first word or two words, then that will remind me. And the references are not there. However, yeah, if you are wanting to type it, but to be honest, any topic at all under the banner of Islam, you only have to type into the internet and you'll be amazed at the number of responses that you will get. So, and I'm sure there will be many more that will be, well, this is structured, right, with live examples, which is what you also don't find in many of the literature of Islam. And a lot of it, this topic is potentially very theoretical. But if you are only going to discuss this and the Prophet said Allah said, then it assumes no relevance to us at all. But what I've tried to do here is, but if you want to type it, I would be happy to make a copy available, and then we can edit and share later. Inshallah. The second, from our brother, again, how do you exhibit good manners to those lower than you? You see, any problem that is recognized as a problem has been won halfway, at least, maybe for a quarter of the way as well, right? Now, a very practical way is to remind yourself that I asked a question at the joint Usrah that I tend to have a challenge exhibiting such manners to people who are under me. And every time somebody that is under you will behave in a manner that will make you to do that, that becomes your check. In the same way that my Tagdab hadith became my check as well. And that is very practical. I mean, all of us have our strengths and we have our weaknesses. It is the combination of all these that make us to be good people that we can relate to each other and all. And I'm sure you have certain traits in you that some of us here also do not have. Even if it's a commitment to the cause of Islam, to the companion, at least in the little time I have known you, that is something that we may not necessarily be able to say about everybody. But you may also find that the average person here is not better than you at all. That may well be the case. In fact, you may be the best amongst us. Who knows? We wouldn't know. But it is to have the consciousness that I have an Islamic obligation to react in this way. And then, before you know it, people do take notice, and you even get feedback unsolicited from people that this person, and then you can say, well, as my sister gave excellent example, that the real me is probably worse than what you are saying. It is Islam that has made me to be good. The third one is for the Arabists amongst us. The white people will say Arabists. Now, about the Imam who said, A'udhu bi Rabbil Falak, right? If he was just making a statement, he wouldn't have said anything wrong. If he was reading the Quran, then it is totally unacceptable. I mean, A'udhu means I seek refuge. A'udhu Billah means I seek refuge with Allah. A'udhu bi Rabbil Falak means I seek refuge with the Lord of the daybreak. He has not said anything wrong. However, you do not choose ayat of the Quran. I mean, I don't know, was it in the course of praying?
Praying, yeah.
No.
It's wrong.
No. So it was actually Quran that was reciting. No, I prayed behind one Imam in Lekki, North Lekki Central Mosque, and this was Maghrib. And I repeated the same prayer behind the same Imam with another friend, and I was in the row directly behind the Imam. And on both occasions, I couldn't work out which surah this Imam read. Wallahi, I couldn't work it out. And then I went with a friend, not to listen to him, we just happened to be there. And again, at the end of the surah, the person was asking me which surah did the Imam recite. It was possibly the worst recitation I ever had. And that person should never be allowed to lead salat at all. It is either he had a speech disability, which again, there are many useful roles he can play in the masjid. But you cannot lead salat using a microphone, and even the person standing behind you, who knows a bit of the Quran, couldn't work out what he was reciting. That was how bad. I want to assume that this is the case with this person as well. There's probably a speech disability there, because even the dullest Imam will know Qul A'udhu bi Rabbil Falaq, and he will know Qul A'udhu bi Rabbin Nas of all the surahs in the Quran.
They know. I challenge it.
Okay.
And they said, people say, and they are saying so.
You just remove cool from cool.
They are editing it.
That they are editing
Yes, but because I'm not that.
No, it is totally wrong.
If he's saying his personal prayer, cool. But leading the
Quran, yes, it is wrong, and it should be communicated to the Imam. About University Islam, this was more of a comment than all of us here went through university, and we know how we were then and how we are now. And most of us here have children in university as well. I have a son in university as well. And I was just making a general comment about how when we are in university, we are governed by emotions. But as we reach my sort of age, as you reach the age of 40, 41 upwards, see, it cannot be a coincidence that the affairs that are most firebrand about issues that they consider to be wrong and not are the young affairs.
Wonderful.
Somehow, when they reach the age of 50 upward, no one came to talk to them. You just find the same affair, and then you find the university student saying that one of my brothers, I won't mention his name, he said this to me himself, subhanAllah. He said when they were in university, at the University of Ilorin, that a group of them just came together and they decided that some of their lecturers were going to be categorized either as kafir or monofic. So they drew a list. Guess who was the first list on the list of kafir? Ishaq Oloyede. He told me this himself. He said that Ishaq Oloyede will categorize as kafir because of the firebrand in them. And the same brother was saying, he said, and I'm quoting him now, he said, my only consolation now is that Allah knows that we didn't know what we were doing. and it's a brother that is very knowledgeable. But the exuberance of youth, to the point that they actually thought they were in a position to classify somebody, and then Brother Isaac was the first Catholic. It was not even monophic. It was a Catholic. And that was because they just thought that they were too relaxed on issues, they were too not knowing that it's age and wisdom that is, and then the same person now, whenever you see the youth, he will just smile that they have not even gone as far as categorizing us as kafir. We categorize people as kafir, and all the names that you mentioned are household names to us in the university system. About the litigation, let me. I think you have added what I wanted to add. Inshallah, next time we have the opportunity of addressing to the powers that be. I have the last group photograph that my daughter took when they were leaving England and they're coming back to Nigeria. You know, everybody in the class we used to do it when we were young. I don't know what has happened to it. At the end of the sessions, they will take a group photograph, right? And alhamdulillah, Amina, my daughter, she's now 13 years old. She never went to school for one day without wearing her hijab in London, and that was even a Christian school. This photograph we should just carry, even maybe next time they are going to court, that if this has not done any damage to people in England, how can it possibly do damage to people in Nigeria? So let the lawyers take it along as evidence that it cannot do, and that is even a Christian country. England is officially a Christian country. And our sister, your sister, you can ask him this, Sister Rahma Salah, the wife of your Muritada Salah, her daughter went to school and took ill and vomited on her cloth. And then the school gave her a replica cloth to wear, and then they gave her hijab to match. And then they called the mother that your daughter was ill. And when she got there, she found the daughter in a uniform and hijab that was different from what she wore, leaving home. And she asked them, where did you get this from? And the school said that from the day she started, and we've noticed that this is how she dresses, we have had a replica or reserved hijab in the locker in case she asked us to have to use it. And it was the school hijab that she was wearing. That is the daughter, Taslim also, the name is of her sister Rahmat Salahuddin. This was in London as well. It does not do any damage to anybody. So why it will do damage to cause riots in Nigeria, I do not know. But during the next court case, inshallah, if I know, I will be happy to make that photograph available. Let them carry it to court. Let the newspapers take photograph that this was in London and not in Nigeria. I think we have addressed it all. There are one or two announcements. The first one, the criterion seminar for the IRS teachers. It says the circular sent to schools did not indicate the location or the venue. It's oral.
I don't understand.
There is I don't fully understand. Maybe the person can ask.
Interpretation of the meaning.
Verification.
When I Torah and I will not hurt you. So like lakum dinikum waliyatin. Is that okay? Thank you.
Finally, again, for the benefit of those who came expecting to listen to a talk on the media, we have had to reschedule that till September because two key members are having a nikah today, and even the guest lecturer is expected as a guest at the nikah. Apologies for that. Inshallah, we shall have that session, and I want to encourage that whenever we do have it, let us be here. It is very important, especially to the issue of the hijab as well.
Wind up. This has been circulated, but more importantly, the phone numbers are there. You have to book ahead because the hall contains very small number, and only the number that are booked their participation that the seat will be reserved for. So it has been circulated. You can call any of the number. Whichever day you are attending, you can call for a reserved seat for that day.
Let me just say one or two things on that. This is Dr. Zakir Naik. Sheikh Dr. Zakir Naik. If you are to go to London, America, Canada, Australia, any of the English-speaking world today, if you ask who is the number one da'iyah, in the English-speaking world, only one name will come up, and that is Dr. Zakir Naik. And he's even a medical doctor. He's not a doctor of Islam, and I am even older than him. I assure you, you will not get a second name. There is no one bigger than Dr. Zakir Naik. He is coming to Nigeria for the first time this month on the platform of the Islamic platform. And I'm aware that he's coming with a crew of 45 because his dawah will be going live on the Peace TV. It's unfortunate that we do not get access generally to Peace TV, the channel which is owned by him upon which he does his dawah is called Peace TV. And when he will be talking in Nigeria, it will be live across the world on Peace TV. And Peace TV, the quality is as good as the best television station in the world, be it CNN or Sky News or whatever. And that is why he comes with his own very big school, which is being sponsored by him. This is a man that heads of state send private jets to go and ferry him just to visit their country. He was a stammerer, and he prayed to Allah to remove his stammer so that he could be able to do da'wah, and Allah removed it. And that's why all his talks, he will always start with that statement of Prophet Musa, alayhi salat wa salam. Don't miss it. It's almost a once in a lifetime opportunity. He also specializes on interreligious comparative religious something. And if you think that Ahmed Deedat was good, this person is 200 times better than Ahmed Deedat. And he can talk for 6 hours. He has never ever held a paper as little as this. Everything is from memory. Everything. He doesn't hold a thing. Even when he's quoting from the book of the Hindu, from the book of the Buddhist, from the Quran, and he never makes a quotation without giving the exact reference, including a hadith. He will say hadith number in the book of and he can talk for 5 hours, he will not hold anything. It's always like this. So once in a lifetime opportunities, let us try and be there. The plan is for him to do 3 lectures in Lagos and 2 in Abuja, and inshallah his very first engagement will be a Jimoh service at Lekki Central Mosque. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.